Every presenter, every person that has helped make this career day possible, for coming and sharing your morning, your day with us here at Richmond Heights Secondary School. So I'm not going to take up much time. I'm going to pass the mic to our facilitator for today, Ms. Childress, who had the thought, the idea to put together a different type of career day for our students to experience. So Ms. Childress, welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Students, I hope you are as excited as I am, as well as the speakers are excited to talk to you. I know that some of the speakers that are here may not be those career professions that you may be interested in. However, it is also important for you guys to be exposed to those opportunities. So I'm asking you guys to go into the classroom and to learn and to ask questions and to be open-minded, okay? We have so many speakers here. We have about 30 speakers, which is excellent. You guys give them a round of applause for that, for coming and showing up. Yeah. Okay. We have a short program here, and then we're going to get to our mini sessions. First, I would like to introduce middle school student council members, Tay Boz and Nyla Glover.
Hi, my name is Tay. I'm president of middle school.
Hi, my name is Nyla. I am Vice President of Middle School Council.
The following career professionals will be speaking to the middle school students today. Speakers, when you hear your name, please stand and wave so that the students may see you. Eddie Days, athlete, coach, and trainer.
Tony Trito, Aurora Law Enforcement Officer.
Bresson Wright, journalist and filmmaker.
Demetrius Muhammad, motivational speaker.
Vanessa Jones, cosmetology.
Andrea Moore, assistant law director.
Randolphin Ayers, Silver Air Patrol pilot.
Elijah Gilmore, jazz recording artist and music producer.
Chad Hawkins, Joy, and pilot illustrator.
And Dennis Eddy, American Airlines pilot. Please give our speakers a round of applause.
All right, so now we're going to have high school speaker introductions by National Honor Society members Abdul Ali and Imani Hendon.
Hi, I'm Imani, President of National Honor Society. The following career professionals will be speaking to the high school students today. Speakers, when you hear your name, please stand and wave so that the students may see you. Michael Wacker, machine shop manager.
Dr. Lucia Johnson, dentist and entrepreneur.
Ashley Green, hospital unit secretary.
Kimberly Tufts, nurse practitioner.
Hannah Lori Gambro, Esquire, associate attorney.
Robin Blasma, communication systems analysis.
Ruth McClathy, school psychologist.
Ron Micklin, United Airlines pilot.
Fred Rogers, construction executive.
Dave Frederick, construction manager.
James Cowan, project architectural designer.
Mandisa Gosa, interior designer.
Elise Burnett, textured hairstylist, educator, and owner of Textura Curl Studio.
Greg Kozark, admission advisor at Ohio Technical College.
Carla James, senior recruiter at Lincoln Electric.
Corey Hutter, training supervisor at Component Repair Technologies.
Louise Purnell, owner and manager of Cleveland Consulting Firm.
And Dr. Vinaya Jones, veterinarian. Congrats to Dr. Jones for being the first African-American female to open a veterinary clinic in Cleveland, Ohio. Please give our speakers a round of applause. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm the senior class president, and I will be introducing State Representative Stephanie Howes. State Representative Stephanie Howes serves in the Ohio House of Representatives representing House District 11, which includes the communities of Cleveland, Garfield Heights, and Newburgh Heights. She serves as the Aging of Long-Term Care Committee, Finance Committee, Subcommittee on Transportation, and Transportation and Public Safety Committee. As a public servant, she is dedicated to connecting residents to career and entrepreneurship opportunities to break the cycle of generational poverty, enhancing access to early childhood education and STEM education, promoting health and wellness, and providing support for caregivers delivering long-term care. Representative Howes currently serves as the president of Ohio Legislative Black Caucus and is the recipient of the 2019 Persister Award for Cuyahoga Democratic Women's Caucus for her unwavering commitment to speaking up against harmful policies that create disparities within communities of color, and the 2019 A Step Above Award for Groundwork Ohio for her dedication to working to ensure our children can live healthier and vibrant lives in Ohio. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Florida A&M University and a Master of Arts in Environmental Studies for Cleveland State University. Representative Stephanie Howes' service to our community is centered on the quote by Dorothy Height: "We have to improve life, not just for those who have the most skills and those who know how to manipulate the system, but also with those who often have so much to give but never get the opportunity." Stephanie Howes.
Well, good morning, Spartans. How's everybody doing? Good morning. So I know I have to keep this very brief because you all have some amazing speakers that are here this morning. But just to get our brain started just a little bit, I just wanted to plant a couple of seeds as you really listen to these outstanding, fabulous men and women who are going to come before you today. First things first. How many of you all have heard of the 1619 Project? Has anybody heard of the 1619 Project? Well, that is kind of great, not great, but I'm going to just plant these seeds for you all, okay? This is 2019. The 1619 Project is actually started off as an essay from a writer. Her name is Nicole Hannah Jones for the New York Times. Here in 2019, we are celebrating of sorts 400 years since the first documented time of 230 enslaved Africans arriving here in America. The 1619 Project actually just chronicles what has happened to people from 1619 all the way to today. When somebody probably was asking, what does that have to do with us here? What does that have to do with my career? I really truly believe it's vitally important. We all need to understand our history.
establish for yourself, it's a process. You know, in these last 3 years, I've had the opportunity to be a mentor for young people, and it's been very different than other mentoring experiences. And it's a lot of our young people that are dealing with a lot of heavy things. You know what I'm saying? Life ain't been fair. It's not fair because of things that are going on in your homes. And I hope that you all will take this day to not just set a goal, but really go higher. Because this is a time I've been talking to young people, and sometimes y'all goals, it just seems they're so, it's not where God wants you to be. You know, God wants you to be higher, right? So first thing you do in this process, set a goal. Everybody say set a goal. Set a goal. Everybody say set a goal. Set a goal. Set a goal. All right? That's the first thing I want you to do. When you talk about this, and I know some of you y'all middle schoolers, you might not have any idea what you have put, but I want you to set a goal, okay? So that is my time. I hope there is something that you remember. Hopefully, what's the 3 things y'all gonna do today? What's the first thing? Set a goal. Set a goal. What's the second thing? Make a plan. Make a plan. And the third thing is make it happen. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the plan that this is really awesome.
Thank you, thank you. Let's give her another round of applause for her inspirational speech that will set the tone for today. We are very thankful to have that. Set a goal, make a plan, make it happen. All right. Before we move out, I just would like to recognize a few people that are here. We have our board president, Ms. Nika Slade Jackson, who is with us this morning. I know she doesn't like to be recognized, but we thank her for her support. I would be remiss if we did not recognize the Spartan staff, the teachers, and the staff here. If you could just wave your hand. They have worked diligently to make sure that this day takes place, inviting everyone into their classroom and giving up their instructional time. So for that, I thank you and I salute you. Students, as we transition, today we will be engaged.
So what we're doing now is trying to expose them to all of the technological career paths that are available now, that are cutting edge, that are still just coming about, so that as they grow in their career interest and in that career field, at least they're exposed to the basic level of technology and they're open to learning whatever new paths come along. So again, the school can't prepare them for the careers in the next century, but we can get them on the path to have an open mind and an open heart to learning and gaining those skills.
So a registered nurse, you cannot diagnose. So registered nurses have like a separate set of, they call them nursing diagnoses, but you're not diagnosing diabetes or heart failure. You're not prescribing medications. So you're assessing the patients, you're passing medications, you're doing dressing changes, you're reporting to the physician what you're finding, and then the physician's creating the plan of how we're going to proceed next. So when I started as a nurse, which everybody should start on a regular nursing floor and get all the experience you can, you typically are pulled into a day-night rotation or a day-evening rotation. So you're either working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. or some variation in between. So 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7.
And the most thing that I love about my job is discharging a patient that came in there on a vent or on a trach and walking out of our building without the vent, without a trach, going to a step-down unit or going home. That's the most rewarding part of my day. You know what I mean?
Like my mom, she may want to be a nurse, but after what I've been through, makes me be even more.
It's more rewarding, right? Like that's your go-to. Like that's your reason. That's my reason. It's rewarding.
Any idea what you would think?
Filmmaker.
Filmmaker. All right. So, I want to say this, most films nowadays have aerial shots, right? Where do those aerial shots come from?
Helicopters.
Drones, actually, now. Not helicopters. Helicopters become too expensive. Most aerial shots in most movies are drones. drones are a whole new deal that's in aviation. Okay, because there's the drone engineers, there's the drone photographers, because there's a whole people of the cinematics and photography that are doing all their cinematics and everything else from the drone. So they're kind of like trying to learn the concepts of how to get certain angles and views from the drone to, for their cinematic effects and things like that. And then the other aspect of it is you have the drone pilots. So filmmaking, cinematography and all this has a huge aviation component now. I mean, there's like huge departments at most major studios, MGM and all the Disney and all these studios. There's huge departments of nothing but aviation, drone related, because they have to fit all this in, into how we make a movie now. Does that make sense?
Even NASA isn't run purely on scientists and engineers. NASA needs, we had, I can't remember his name, but we had someone who was interested in graphic designer in the last class. NASA needs graphic designers, NASA needs writers, NASA needs people who can market and who can talk to people on TV about what NASA does. NASA needs a lot of people outside of STEM. So if STEM isn't your thing, still look around at NASA and other space corporations, because there's definitely places that you could fit in. At the end of it, because my work it is a lot of writing and it is a lot of report writing, documentation. It is, at the end of the day, a 9-to-5 desk job. But at the end of the day, I can go home and say, hey, I'm helping NASA go to space, which makes it a lot more fun. Plus, I have really good coworkers, so sometimes a good coworker can make or break a job.
Stickers are spirit wear. We can create designs for shirts so that we don't have to go to another company to create t-shirts for spirit wear anymore. We can just come on a computer program, type it up, come up with the stuff that we would want to make, and then print it out here and press it onto a shirt. So we'll have that ability to make those kind of things. If you've been looking at some of the different flight sessions, I know some of the other places you might have talked to the pilot, you listen to the pilot speak, or the airlines, or different things like that. One of the things that they'll have going on down here is the flight simulator. So this will be getting up to run, but if you take a look, it's got the pedals, it's got everything. I've not been trained on that at all. I hope to one day, but there's some pretty neat things that can go with. We got it printing. So here we have what's called the Ultimaker, and the Ultimaker is just one of the many different types of 3D printers that they have.
So the two things I turned on was the exhaust. So you guys are gonna smell it. It's gonna smell like burning wood or paper. So that white light you see is the laser, and all it's doing is shooting down on it. That's causing it to burn. So now we can laser engrave almost anything. The only thing they tell you not to put in here is plastic.
Like I said, with technology, they're trying to push foundries out of business right now with 3D metal printing, but they have not been able to perfect that to a machine quality part yet, so there's still a growing need for us. The need for machinists is out there. I'm not the only company struggling with it. And right now, the biggest thing is we can't find young people that want to enter the business, that want to learn the business, that want to become successful in it.
So we're going to show you this quick video that shows you the plant floor, okay?
To look at the success of a company like Lincoln Electric. And one of the best ways is right here. This is your opportunity to see not just what a working campus the size of 52 football fields looks like, but to see what it can do.
That's exactly what it looks like.
To learn why this is a place where extraordinary thoughts are the norm. The vision of two brothers, grown from a $200 investment in 1895 to the multi-billion-dollar industry leader of today.
We had 26 people apply from around Ohio to the SOAR program. We ended up bringing in 16 students and 15 completed the entire program. And we're now at the point where 10 moved on to full-time employment. The 5 here that kind of dropped off from completing to are still employed. 4 of them ended up going to school. One of them got a full ride for track at Akron University and almost didn't accept it because he wanted to stay and work with us. And we told him he was crazy, he was getting a full ride for track, he needed to go. So out of these 10 people that continued employment through the summer, all of them are still at CRT right now. And every single one of them have taken that next step out of their entry-level position to go into one of those main 4 areas. They all found what they were interested in and are all on some sort of training path to become a machinist, to become an inspector, to become a welder.
Knew I wanted to be involved in sports. So, all right, let me coach, let me help that next generation coming up. So again, we've won a good amount of games. We won 3 national championships. I coach the guys and the girls. So we won 3 national championships with the guys. We've made it to a lot of Final Fours with the girls. So we won a lot of games, and it's fun. And again, it's the level right under the Ohio State varsity team. And again, the biggest thing is education. I pointed out, that I graduated high school and college, and I had that education to fall back on. But as far as what you want to do when you're done playing, because everybody thinks they can play forever, you learn quickly that that's not the case, and that ball will stop bouncing someday. So what do you want to do when those days are over? And you think about it, I'm 31 years old. I graduated from here in 2006, graduated college in 2011. I may play for 5 or 6 more years, but even then, I'll be 37, 38 years old. I got a long life ahead of me. So what do I want to do with that time afterwards? And I started thinking about that pretty early, and I figured, okay, let me continue to help that next generation and chase the dreams that I chased and that I was able to attain. But yeah, I've been doing this since 2016, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. We work with a lot of kids. A lot of our camps will have 150 kids in them, and then we do camps pretty much every week throughout the summer. I think we'll hold 15 camps this summer in Cleveland alone, this upcoming summer. So it's a lot of fun, and again, it's for kids. I don't know if y'all, like I said, for y'all basketball players, it's for kids 6 to 17. So I would suggest coming to those camps also if you want to.
I transitioned into radio, did some television. Back then I had a nice head of hair, so it didn't matter. I looked good then. Didn't have the shiny dome that I got now. But at the same point, I went through that and I started going through, I lived in Cleveland. Cleveland's a little bit smaller of a media town. I decided, I was sick of working 60 hours a week, sick of not making enough money. And then as well, I transitioned my family. My kids were born. So now I wanted to see them, wanted to do something. So I decided to go into something. My wife, being a teacher that she is, a Spanish teacher, I decided, She goes, why don't you go into education? Become a teacher. Well, I didn't want to go back and get my master's degree, because you guys know, you might not like classroom now. I didn't want to. They didn't have the online course yet, so I didn't want to go do that. So I said, well, what about college recruiting? I got into college recruiting. Number one, not only can I sit there and believe in who I'm recruiting for, which is the Ohio Technical College, so I wanted to be able to recruit for a school that there is positive results.
What I say to teachers a lot is that behavior is communication. Because a lot of times what happens is teachers get really frustrated because unlike me, I only have to deal with one kid at a time. But a lot of times teachers have to deal with 20 to 30 kids in a classroom all day long at a time. And when somebody's not behaving the way we expect them to behave, it can be really frustrating. Sometimes we can, as human beings, and teachers are human beings too, I'd just like to remind you, as human beings, we can think that somebody's doing something on purpose to just give us a hard time, right? Do we ever do that? Does anybody ever do that? Think somebody's doing something on purpose to give you a hard time, right? And I encourage people that instead of taking it personally, they ask themselves, what is this person trying to communicate to me with their behavior? Are they trying to communicate to me that they got up on the wrong side of the bed today and they just don't feel it? They're just not feeling it? Are they trying to communicate to me that their parents are going through a nasty divorce and they're in the middle of it? Right? Are they trying to communicate to me that the work is too hard for them and they're feeling really frustrated and they're not getting enough help? So I tell teachers there is no such thing as a bad kid. There's only behaviors, and the behaviors are communication. So like when somebody's giving you a hard time, think about that next time somebody's giving you a hard time about something. It might not be about you, it might be about them, it might be about the day they're having, it might be about the house they come from. You know, it might be about the chemicals in their brains, you know, and I'm not talking about drugs, I'm just talking about the normal chemicals that, you know, everybody has in their brains.
What other questions do you guys have?
What would you say would be like the most stressful thing about your job?
I can't control my day sometimes. Like, I have a list of what I want to do, but if somebody who's a higher rank than me in my firm calls me and say, hey, I need something done by 2 o'clock, I have to do that by 2 o'clock. So I might have to bump something down on my list, or I might have to work late, or, you know, that's the most stressful thing about my job is I don't know what the day is going to bring me. I could get a phone call right now and have to drop out of here and go do some crazy emergency for a client or something like that. So it's unpredictable a little bit. So that's the most stressful thing about it. But other than that, it's pretty good. You could be a stenographer. I don't know how much money they make, but their job is a lot of typing. You gotta be able to type super fast to be a stenographer. You could be a paralegal. They do a lot of reading too. You could be a legal secretary, which the market's pretty short on legal secretaries. Now, you know, all of those ladies are getting old and they need to be replaced. So if you don't want to be a lawyer, but you want to work in a law firm, consider being a legal secretary. It's a pretty good pay.
So, what is a cosmetologist? Anybody know before I tell you?
A person who specializes in hair.
That's a good guess. So like doctors touch people, massage therapists touch people, but cosmetologists do too. And so in order for someone to be able to allow you into that space, you have to have good communication with them. Desire for education. So once you're licensed, that's not where your education stops, right? You still have to have continuing education every year and every other year in order to maintain your license, but also just to be aware of what's going on in the field and to be on top of trends and things like that. Business, marketing, and management are also really important skills to have, because whether you own your own like actual salon, or you have a suite, or you're booth renting, or even if you're an employee, you own your behind the chair real estate. You're still responsible for building a clientele and for building your business.